dewatering, treatment of that water, and ultimate discharge probably to the Hudson River. Backfilling those excavations with certified clean fill, and ultimately restoring the site. As you'd expect, given those numbers, over a pretty large footprint, cost of about $750 million. Alternative 2 is what we call a track 4 cleanup. It includes institutional controls, or IC, and engineering controls, EC. This alternative relies very heavily on the interim remedial measures that Ray discussed earlier. The excavation of the soil from the lead-contaminated areas, the 2 lead-contaminated areas, the excavation of soil from the solvent-contaminated and the chromium-contaminated area, and then the excavation of soil from the petroleum underground storage tank areas. And then also the interim remedial measures to address the residual groundwater contamination. So it relies heavily on those actions that have already been taken. That work has all been completed. The engineering controls, in this case, would be a final barrier cap. This would include the buildings that would ultimately be constructed on the property, asphalt surfaces, sidewalks, and in areas where those aren't present, a 2-foot soil cap, the demarcation barrier, and then to address the potential for any vapors, be it contaminants, solvents, or methane vapors from entering into any overlying buildings. It would have vapor intrusion mitigation systems. Basically, radon mitigation system. I'm sure some of you are familiar with radon mitigation. The institutional controls would include an environmental easement that passes with the land. This would restrict the property use to restricted residential. It would also include a site management plan that would involve long-term monitoring of groundwater quality to make sure nothing changes. Maybe we missed